Don't matter where you go in life, don't matter what you do or work, you got to be aware of what's going on. I watched a video today. Again, I think it was somewhere Midwest. Dude walking home in the snow. Young dude. They arrested him because somebody called him and said he looks suspicious. Now, did he stop for the police? No, he didn't. He's like, look, I'm going home. Young kid in high school. He's like, I'm going home. Slave patrols still exist. And I wonder, and I often wonder about this over and over and over. What if things would have changed? What if Africans had stopped in America and sail across from Egypt and name homage to America? What if they did that? What if in maybe 100 years from now we wake up and everything is flipped, and for some reason I don't know what will happen? Maybe dimensions cross, whatever, and then black people are in power. I know America has people has a lot of guns. It's like 5 guns to 1 home or something like that. I know that, but just think about that for a minute. See, the one thing that people don't do, and why we have these hate groups, is one, they I won't say fear, because I don't think anyone on here is afraid of anything. Our fear is not directed at something like that. I think we'll stand up for ourselves. But the one thing we won't do is we won't stand in the gap, and that's a word from the Bible. You stand in the gap and make sure that people are aware of what it is and how they're behaving. Don't matter if it comes back on them. That is what we don't do here, because there's so much things that is implemented in this country that it doesn't matter how hard we try. Going back to the voting law in Atlanta, somebody will come back and change it. Do you think that officer for the George Floyd trial, you think he's going to get off? How many people in the chat? Do you think that guy is going to get off? That ex-police officer? What do y'all think? Do you think he's going to get you think justice is going to be served? Do you think that people that work so hard to do what is right on that jury panel, the jurors that they pick, right? You think that they actually is going to be will give a fair judgment, or the judge is one that gives the ruling, but the jury is what gives the judgment, hence jury, of whether he's guilty or not. Do you think that's going to work? Do you think it'll be fair? I was listening to a show with Graham Elwood and Lee Camp. These 2 comedians have their show, and Lee Camp was saying that out of the police officers in American history that actually has been charged with a crime of after they kill someone, like it doesn't matter if they're black or white, but this shot someone, he said it's 4. 4 people in American history, 4 police officers has been charged. And that's my other shout out. Graham Elwood and Lee Camp on YouTube. You see, it doesn't matter if I get upset or if I get hot. It's what matters to y'all. That's what matters. I tell people this all the time. If you go back and ask me when I was 10 years old that I will be creating an organization to end discrimination, sexism, and racism, I'll be like, I ain't leaving home. You're crazy, sir. Get away from me. I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to be a filmmaker. I want to do film. I want to act. That's what I would be replying back if in my younger days. Y'all saw the movie. Y'all see what's going on. You have to get in that mindset every single day. You got to get in that mindset. Forget the noise. Forget who said what. And you got to understand, as we're opening up and the country and the world is opening up, you can go back to Walt Disney all you want. You can watch that cable all you want. Somebody else is going to get shot. That bullet is ready. As we used to say that in the military, our bullets and our rifles is already marked for who when it comes out to who we got to hit. It's already, their names is already on that bullet. That bullet is out there for that next person, that whether it's a black woman, black man, Asian, no matter, it's Latino, it's out there, it's coming. While they cut down the voting rights and don't want to give reparations, it's coming. And y'all gonna get upset again. Y'all go out and protest again, or like we do, is like until it happens close to you, until it's somebody you know. And you got, like you saw in the video, and I was telling y'all all these hate groups, and with the White Lives Matter is going to go out, or like the guy that did me and say, you're wrong for saying that you shouldn't make that statement of being black and not understand. How dare you? That's racist in itself. I'm like, dude, really? So we should have shut up. I shouldn't say nothing? Like, okay, yeah. All I said was, understand where that man is coming from. Okay, he may be going crazy, but understand that he has to deal with being black, whether he's an actor, whether he is a truck driver, whether he's working at McDonald's. The dude has to deal with that. How many? I always ask people this. When people used to challenge me, I say, all right, okay. That's what I would say. I say, are you black? No, and it's like, they would get upset. I said, all right, forget that first question. Let me ask you this question. How many times, think about it for a minute, how many times were you stopped by the police? How many times you were told no when you were trying to go somewhere? Or how many times you walked somewhere and a cop or a security guard or somebody didn't look over your shoulder to see that you were doing something wrong? How many times have you experienced that? Tell me. Have you ever, and then I would say, have you ever been to a place where you could not go? Or have you been in a situation if the cop roll up on you that they just walk right by you? I should have put it up on here tonight. There's a film called by the Wayans brothers. Awesome film. I love it. You should watch it. It's funny as heck, but it's a lot of really deep messages in there. It's called Don't Be a Menace to Society by Drinking the Juice in the Hood. One of the earlier Wayne brothers parodies. But there's a scene in there. There's a whole scene they did of racial profiling from an Asian, I don't know if anybody in the chat seen that, but it's from an Asian store owner, a couple, and there was a young white guy in the store, funny as heck. And the Wayne brothers walked in, and as soon as they walk in the door, the white dude walked first. It was like ding ding, and then they walk in, and the dude was like, for the Wayne brothers, they were like, it charmed. The voice came over the intercom, the N-word. And that whole parody of they just walking around and buying stuff, and the Asian couple following them. I mean, you got to watch it. So Google it on YouTube. The Asian scene from Don't Be Menace to Society or Drinking the Juice in the Hood. Funny as heck. But the message is real. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll be honest with y'all. The reason why these hate groups exist is because we allow them to exist. That's it. We allow them. Me and everyone else included. Remember last summer, it was around early July, when the social justice, I think it was social black justice, they went up to Stone Mountain in Georgia, and they had the rifles, and they were all armed. If you haven't seen that clip, you can check it out. They went up to Stone Mountain, the KKK headquarters. I remember being stationed. I was in the Army, being stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia. One of when especially in the military, it doesn't matter what branch, there are certain no-go lists that places you will not go. And there were, I was stationed in 3 places actually. I was stationed in Little Rock, Arkansas, which was pretty okay. We didn't have, it was a little bit of restrictions. Fort Polk, Louisiana, there was a list of restrictions that were places we couldn't go off base. And it wasn't because that we did something wrong as soldiers. It was because of they didn't want soldiers and they didn't want a particular type of soldiers. This was Louisiana. And it was in 1997. And same thing in Georgia, in Fort Stewart, Georgia. It was funny because Fort Polk, Louisiana, off of the base, the town was called Lees. It still is. It's called Leesville, and in Fort Stewart, Georgia, it's called Hinesville. And there's only a certain places we could not go off the base, with the fear that we would be discriminated against. This is the late 90s now, and I was a soldier. We allowed this to happen. And going back to earlier, we allowed it to happen because of fear. The main reason is fear, because we don't want retaliation. No sane person will want a retaliation. But we allow it. And other people get upset when we talk about it. And that's why that's why I went to filmmaking. That's why I write and I talk to people, the interesting stories. I said, look at it from a different perspective, man. Just for a minute, imagine being black and my wife and I who had this conversation. And she told me it was fear, because for a long time I had this, coming out of the military, I had this thing like, why are Americans, I'm from Trinidad. So I'll be like, why are the Americans like, they're so hateful? She was like, it's fear. It's fear on their side of losing what they have. And then it's fear from our side of what we were going to do, or what we can do. It's fear.